So if you've known me or you've followed my channel for a small portion of time, you know that I have some shooting experience. Now, I am a person that questions everything. I just can't not question everything. So the biggest thing that I have, I'm going to test a couple of things. I've heard a lot of scuttlebutt that maybe Charlie Kirk was wearing body armor. We're going to test that theory. We're going to put a plate out here. We're going to see if we can bounce around into the target or spall around into the target. Now, for safety's sake, we're going to say that they weren't using armor-piercing rounds if the round didn't pass through. So if a round didn't pass through and he was just shot in the neck, that means it's going to be one of two things. Either the round was designed to fragment, so it was a frass round, or it was a PMP round, or possibly a Corelokt. So we have two of those. We have a Corelokt and we have bonded rounds. So we're going to try both of those, see what we get out of that. Now, we're also going to test the shirt theory. Now, if you saw how his shirt moved, this is where the body armor thing comes from. The official statement is that it was blowback from the round passing through that caused his shirt to move in the way that it did. So, in order to test that, Mr. T set up here at the back of the range, and he has a t-shirt on. So we're going to try and send one right here and see if we can get this shirt to move. Now, our shooting position is back over there, which measured out is exactly 142 meters, which is why I set this target up here. This is 142 meters, whereas my normal target spot that I shoot towards is over there, which is 200 meters. So 142 meters, and then 60 some odd yards over that way is my other one at 200 meters. But we are shooting 142. So, and we're at almost the exact same angle that the shooter was supposedly at. So we're going to send a round at it. We're going to start with the t-shirt one first, and then we're going to get to the meat and bone of the matter and see if we can stop a bullet. Now, we are firing 30-06. I remember we're firing, I'm telling you, I'm firing a 150 grain, and I'm doing a Corelokt and a PMP, which is a bonded round. So we're going to see which one of them stop. Not in this target because everything's going to fly through, but we're going to start off with the t-shirt myth first. So here we go. Watching on YouTube and you're wondering why I'm shooting in this format, it's because I'm going to be posting snippets of this to TikTok and I don't want to have to zoom in and edit. I want to try and get this video out as fast as possible, and less time I have to spend in the editing room, the better. So there you go. Now, we're going to do the t-shirt test. We're going to see if we can make the shirt move. I'm going to try and aim right about here. And since I want to get this video out as fast as possible, I'm only recording on my phone, so I don't have another video source back at my shooting spot. So I'm going to go to my shooting spot now, and I will cut the segment of me walking back and forth because that's just too long. I want to say I think I accomplished it, but I got to go look back at the video. So we struck him right here, which is about maybe 4 inches high of the t-shirt, which is just about where Charlie got hit, proportionally. And that t-shirt didn't move. I looked back at the video, the t-shirt didn't move. So next, we're going to put a plate in here. We'll see if we can bounce a plate up to Charlie's neck. To simulate this, I have wrapped the shirt up around the box here to raise Charlie up just a tiny bit and to prop up this steel plate. So the plate's kind of at the same angle that Charlie was slumped in the chair at. We've got a little bit of bend of his neck, which should catch some of the spalling coming up. So let's see how this shot goes. All right, back to my shooting position. Well, I would surmise it probably wasn't a steel plate he was wearing. So, spall theory plausible, but we didn't see this kind of damage on his shirt. And I wouldn't think he would be wearing a steel plate, even though this is just about as thick as a normal steel body armor plate. Ugh. We didn't see this amount of damage to his clothing. And it is quite a lot. It's quite a lot. It's a long walk. But as you can see from that shirt, the devastation of that, one, you can't really conceal a steel plate. Most concealable armor is going to be of a soft version and only designed to stop handgun rounds. What we are now doing is we are And as you saw, when a bullet hits a steel plate, whether it's an armor plate or whether it's just a target plate, it's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to spread out all over the place. That's why most steel armor you buy nowadays is going to have what's called spall protection. It's a coating, not unlike rhino liner, that catches all of those fragments. And it takes a lot of rounds, because they've gotten pretty good at protecting steel plates. It takes a lot of rounds repeatedly hitting the plate to get the spall coating to fail. You can go back in my videos and check out the Steel Co. armor video that I did on this very thing. It took a lot of rounds to get that spall coating to fail to where it started allowing pieces through. And what we saw on Charlie is not that kind of a wound. If you look at that target, go back, you scroll back and look at that target. That target took that round all around the circumference of that target. It spread that bullet out evenly, just basically splashed it all over the place, which is not the wound that we saw happen. All right, for the next part of this theory, or conspiracy theories that are floating about, Charlie stood about 6'5". You take his body mass, if it was proportional, his neck would have been about 5.5, maybe 5'7", in diameter, giving him a circumference of maybe anywhere between 15 to 17 inches of his neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate that with a pork neck. So we have pretty hefty pork neck here, and solid bone, a couple inches of meat. We're going to see if we can get a bullet to stop in it at 100, and this time I'm pushing out. I'm going to go to 175 meters, and we're going to see if we can hit this right square in the center and get a 150 grain bullet to stop. Now remember, it's a Corelokt. It is designed to stop. That's what it's designed to do, but it's not designed to stop. Here, on just ballistics gel alone, the 150 grain Corelokt from a 30-06 is going to have almost 24 inches of penetration. That's just going into ballistics gel. So not hitting bone. And then the next thing after that, if there's anything left of this, we're going to wrap it back up, and we're going to put a clavicle in front of it, and we're going to see if striking a clavicle can cause that bullet to stop too. And by using a clavicle, we're going to use a deer leg in place of where the clavicle should be. But there we go. That's our close approximation to a deer neck. Well, to Charlie's neck. So, and again, for size reference, see what we got. And again, I'm doing the single camera method to make this easier for me to edit and post. So there we go. So what I did is I wrapped a bunch of pork chops around a pork neck, which is pretty much similar to a human vertebrae. This is basically like a human neck. And for shits and giggles, I even added in a small bit of bone and a small bit of sinew to simulate the esophagus of a human being. And then a bunch of pork chops. There are 6 pork chops in total. I can only find 2, possibly parts of 3. The rest of them have been blown into chunks and spread quite a distance. So this idea that this was a high-powered rifle round such as the 30-06, even in a lighter grain and in a version of the 30-06 designed to stop in flesh. Now remember, it's designed to stop in flesh, but not human flesh, and definitely not a human neck. Maybe a human body cavity, but definitely not a human neck. This is the kind of destruction I would have expected to see, but not the kind of destruction that we saw in Charlie. I mean, come on. Be honest here, that didn't answer any questions. It just really raised more. One, we're told it's a high-powered rifle round. No explanation on how that rifle round stopped in the neck. I simulated a neck. I blew the neck apart. We simulated body armor. We blew the shirt apart. We simulated a pass-through high on the neck. Maybe the air from behind the bullet is what caused the shirt. No, none of that. The only thing we can't simulate is the jerking of a human body, which is what he did when he was initially shot. Ultimately, in the end, it's a tragedy. But those of us who loved him, those of you people that knew him, and those people that had relationships with him, whether business or professional or personal. They all need answers, and until the answers are given, conjecture's only left, and I feel I did a disservice here. I don't feel like I answered really any questions, except maybe dispelling some of the myths. At first had said, wasn't a professional sniper. Well, you see the devastation a professional sniper would have done. If it was a high caliber rifle fired from 142 meters, and I went out to 175, at 175 meters, the 30-06 obliterated that neck. And that was aiming directly for the spine. Glancing off of it, I don't know. But glancing off of it would have definitely passed through. So the pass-through thing, debunked. Having a steel plate in the chest and it bouncing up, well, we know what bullets do when they hit steel. They spray everywhere. Debunked. And the pass-through of the neck, moving the t-shirt alone, debunked. So I didn't answer any questions, but I put some conspiracy theories to bed, possibly for some people. But we know we're all going to question, and I highly encourage you to question everything that's out there. Stay safe. Don't die.